Hi everyone, I'm Amy Wilhelmy, and this is Healing is a Messy Bitch, where we make sense of patterns that shape our relationships, our bodies, and our capacity for intimacy. Today's episode is called What Stories Shape Your Attachment? Because every adult relationship tells a story. Not just your story, but the stories of your nervous system, your caregivers, your survival strategies, and your earliest experiences of love. If you've ever wondered why you keep ending up in the same painful dynamic, chasing, shutting down, over-functioning, or disappearing, today we're going to unpack the narratives beneath those patterns, the ones written long before you had the language to describe them. This is tender work, but it's transformational work. Let's begin. Every one of us carries attachment narratives, stories created through experience, not logic. Stories like, if I ask what I need, I might be too much. If I get close, I'll lose myself. If I trust, I'll be hurt again. These aren't thoughts, they're embodied scripts shaped by early attunement or the absence of it. And as I'm writing in The Integrative Path, healing requires transforming survival narratives into relational truths. What once protected you may now prevent your belonging. You can't shame yourself out of these patterns. You can't cognitive behavioral your way out of attachment. You have to meet the story, understand where it came from, and gently begin rewriting it. John Bowlby believed that every child develops an internal working model, a blueprint for themselves and others. And it sounds like this. Am I lovable? Are others reliable? Is the world safe? When caregiving is consistent and compassionate, what we learn is my needs matter, people show up, I'm safe. When caregiving is chaotic, frightening, or inconsistent, we learn I need to manage everything myself. Connection is risky. If I don't perform, I won't be wanted. And these blueprints become the attachment styles we carry into adulthood. Anxious, avoidant, disorganized, and they show up in our relationships long after childhood ends. Neuroscience backs this up. These narratives live in the amygdala, the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex. They are somatic and not just cognitive, which is why insight alone doesn't just change them. We have to go deeper. So let's slow down. This is the first moment of reflection. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Don't analyze, just let your body answer. When did you first learn what love felt like? Was it reliable or unpredictable? What happened when you expressed emotion? Were you comforted, dismissed, punished? Did you learn that vulnerability brought closeness or danger? And today, when someone pulls away, do you move toward or do you move back? Just notice. This isn't about blame. This is about context, the compassionate understanding of how your patterns formed. As Judith Herman wrote, healing begins with naming what was missing. Not what was wrong with you, but what you weren't given. I want you to take a breath with me right here, right now. Ready? And out. Your attachment narrative doesn't live in your thoughts. It lives in your nervous system. And according to polyvagal theory, when you feel safe, your ventral vagal system activates. You connect, you soften, open. When safety feels uncertain, your sympathetic nervous system fires. You are in fight or flight. When connection fails repeatedly, your dorsal vagal system shuts down, numbness, withdrawal, dissociation. So let's check in. When you think about closeness, what happens in your body? Does your chest expand or tighten? Does your breath deepen or get shallow? Do you lean in or do you pull away? Your body is telling you the story that it learned, not to shame you, to illuminate you, if you'll listen. Now, I want you to complete a few sentences. Just say them quietly to yourself or write them down. When I love someone, I usually. When someone loves me, I fear. When I feel ignored, my body. When I feel criticized, I tell myself. When I feel needed, I read what you wrote or heard out loud. See if a theme emerges. Here are some common ones. I'm only lovable when I perform. I have to stay independent to be safe. My needs are too much. Closeness equals danger. These are predictions, not truths, and predictions can be rewritten. Real attachment repair happens on 3 levels. 1, EMDR is reprocessing the old story. EMDR helps train the brain. We revisit early attachment wounds and we create new meaning. No one came when I cried becomes I can reach now and be met. Neuroimaging shows decreased amygdala activation, increased prefrontal control. The brain literally rewires. EFT, we're relearning safety through relationship. EFT uses vulnerability and responsiveness to create corrective emotional experiences. When a partner stays present during distress, the oxytocin system switches on, cortisol drops, and the body learns closeness can feel safe. When we bring in CAP, or ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, we are expanding neuroplasticity. Ketamine can open emotional access points and quiet defenses, making space for new attachment insights that talk therapy alone can't reach. Integration is where this all transforms. Now let's begin the rewiring process. I want you to place one hand on your heart and one on your abdomen. Take a breath and ask yourself, what story am I ready to stop repeating? What story am I ready to live instead? Examples are, it's safe to be seen, my needs matter, I can trust slowly, I don't have to disappear to be loved. These aren't affirmations, they're new neuropathways being formed. And every time you return to them, you strengthen the story of safety. I'm Amy Wilhelmy, and this is Healing is a Messy Bitch. If this reflection stirred something in you, then that's good. That's the beginning. Subscribe, share, and join me for the next episode in this series. Your healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before fear taught you otherwise. See you next time.